You have the Christ, yes. You have, at that time, the stories that come out that horrify us. You have King Herod.
Hmm.
You know, we all know what he's famous for killing all the babies, yeah?
Yeah.
You have Caesar.
Hmm.
None of these characters ever existed.
Yeah. It's a
They are
script,
type.
man. It's a script.
Yeah, yeah. And what was it? You know, we're all going to Disneyland next month. Yahoo! And then next month comes, you can't go. You know, that, yeah, the whole world experiences shit like that.
Yeah. It's
But
it's
I think,
destructive actually. These sort of these sort of life experiences can have a very long lasting impact, man, you know.
but to this extent that we're facing
Hmm.
it right now,
Hmm.
this will be, for want of a better word, global. Even though it's not a globe, it
Yeah.
will be a worldwide uh, shake up,
Yeah.
you know, and loss of hope. Because if he gets away with what he wants to get away with, and you're aware of Project 25, 2025, and all the stuff that's stated inside of that,
Hmm.
I mean, if he gets in and he starts cleaning up the swamp, we have a massive swamp over here in Europe that needs to be cleaned.
Oh yeah. Oh
How
yeah.
does that? And it's got no hope of getting cleaned unless he does get in and start cleaning up.
Yeah, because
And start,
there were talks of the educate things like the education system being reformed, which it's a huge thing, like it would be so impactful,
kids these days, what do they learn at school? They're not learning mathematics. They're not learning how to read. The I don't know whether there is a single school in the US that has got a fucking uh, map of the world in it,
Hmm.
because nobody knows where fucking uh, Ethiopia is.
Hmm.
Nobody knows where fucking Bhutan is. Nobody knows where Ukraine is.
Ukraine is, I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
man.
and whatever way they're taught to elocution. I mean, you fucking you can't even fucking find an American that can say Milosevic, pronounce Milosevic. Never mind Krasnokorovka or Novomikhailovka.
Hmm.
You know,
That's
so they have really been miseducated.
Yes, sir.
And whether he's going to clean that mess up, I don't know. Uh, I heard Trump say 3 or 4 years back that he wants the children of America to know their true history.
Hmm.
You know, and what's that say? That says that they've been taught bullshit. You know,
Yeah, it's sometimes I look at like Ukraine, and I think and if you look back, at history, Ukraine or that part of the Soviet Union has always been like a testing ground. And what's because you just reminded me of what you're talking about, the education system, because what's going on in Ukraine now, it leads me to think that maybe Ukraine is being sort of this testing ground. And what I mean by that is it has gotten so ridiculous in Ukraine. See, the West doesn't really know because no one is covering this. um Statues of like war heroes are being taken down, but fine, like whatever, war heroes. But statues of like intellectuals and people that had impact on the culture is they're being taken down. But whatever, they're just statues. Who cares, right? But the books, like they have passed the laws to forbid, like Dostoevsky, Lev Tolstoy, Pushkin, like all of these, you know, figures that have had an impact on culture worldwide. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and not only because they're kind of going on a preface that, oh, these are Russian folks, so let's get rid of them, but they're not just Russian folks. Like, this is something that has been in the school systems, for decades. Like, it's part of the education system. So what I'm trying to say is, like, they are purposely dumbing the kids down, to extents beyond our imagination. And I'm kind of sort of thinking to myself, like, is this a beginning? Like, are they or were they tested? If there are two polarities that are battling it out, like, was one of them polarities testing all these things in Ukraine? Because in Ukraine, it's like, it's ridiculous. And you can see the impact of it, because on my other Russian speaking channel, I go on these live conversations with the people that are there, and it's a mess, bro. Like, these kids, they come online, they're cursing right in front of their moms. And I'm talking, this is like a 7-8 year old kid. He got a sailor mouth, like, he's going off, like, cursing you. Shit is crazy, Jim. Like, you're fucking sitting there, you're like, whoa. Like, I remember when I was a kid in Ukraine, my mom didn't think I cursed until I was 20, probably, bro. You get smacked the shit out of you, bro. Like, but not now.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous, man. It's crazy.
Well, when you think about it, are they doing it in such a way so that in 2 generations' time, people don't know anything about these characters from history? It's
Exactly.
removing them for that purpose. I mean, like, they went around in the U.S. pulling down statues of uh, Civil War leaders.
Exactly.
These big statues of them sitting on horses. But I don't think these statues are of these characters at all.
Mm,
They're old world. They're pre that.
yes,
We've
sir.
been told it's a way of destroying the old world, the ancient histories, so that future generations don't know anything about it
That's so
ever.
powerful, bro. You're saying something so fucking powerful, man. You're giving me these epiphanies, because if you think about Pushkin, um, a lot of people think, oh, he was just, this Russian poet or Russian storyteller, but people that know anything know that Pushkin was pushing forward the Vedic cultures, but through stories. We call them in Russian and in Ukrainian, we say skazy. Skazy, it's interpreted as tellings, right? Like, he was talking about, if you really go into his stories, they are deep Vedic, now, now is his deep Vedic knowledge, that he was kind of hoping that will be passed down as sort of these fairy tales, just like the Scandinavian sagas. So you're blowing my mind right now, man.
Well, yeah, what do we know now about the old world? We know nothing. They
Hmm.
destroyed as much of it as they could, and the education system that we got didn't have any of it in it at all. And right now across Europe, yeah,
I was just thinking
again,
to myself, man, this is exactly why I love to hear you speak, man, because when you start going off, man, you start vibing at some crazy ass frequencies, man. Like, when I talk to you, I'll be having like epiphany after epiphany. So so we're gonna get to the Europe and the burning of churches, but I want to start in Ireland and then go into the UK situations, because you recently went back home, and you were kind enough to take us on a little trip with you. So what was your sense in Ireland, and what is going on there culturally, and has it changed? And the stuff that Chief was saying, are you able to visually see any of these things? Like, what's going on there?
Well, the people of Ireland are as much in the dark as the people in America, the people in England, and Europe is worse. France here, they only speak one language, and they never find out anything that's going on in the outside world.
Hmm.
Uh, I didn't see much of or any of the issues that we're being sensationalized with in the media and social media when it
Hmm.
was in Ireland.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, when they went around sticking these injections in people, the region I come from had the lowest uptake
Oh wow.
because it's a very rebellious part of the country, and uh, everybody disagrees with the system.
Yeah, you guys sort of always been that way, right?
Well, I don't know what always means.
Hmm.
Um, we're like sheep that were put in a field, and then somebody come along with a fence and put it up through the middle of the field
Hmm.
and fence. And you've got the sheep on this side and the sheep on that side, and they're set against each other by being taught false history.
Hmm.
The people in England, when I was in England, I spent many years in England. Uh, Everyone was on about, oh, we won the war and we were the empire and we're British Empire and we won the war. They fucking never were an empire.
Hmm.
And in every single battle that the British Army ever had with the German Army, they lost.
Hmm.
They never recorded a single victory.
Hmm.
So we're all reset populations.
Hmm.
And then the island of Britain is divided into Scotland, Wales, and England. And then, of course, part of Northern Ireland that
Hmm.
causes all the problems. Still all under Crown rule, including the Free State of the Republic of Ireland, gained fake independence back in the 1920s.
Hmm.
But like everything is running on contract, everything is running on lease. And in 2019, a lot of these leases expired.
Hmm.
And that's why uh, whatever the contracts were, they were under contract to give us justice in the justice system. They were under contract to give us medical assistance in the medical world. And if you had an accident or you were ill, they were kind of under contract to be there for you. The police were under contract to protect and serve. The education system was under contract to give you a kind of a half middling, decent education.
Hmm.
And suddenly, when all these contracts expired, the police are taking up their truncheons and they're going out smashing the shit out of people. You go to court, some woke judge is going to send you to prison for 3 or 4 years for a tweet.
Hmm.
Uh, the judiciary collapses. The you have an accident and you go into the hospital and they fucking kill you because they're no longer under contract to give you medical assistance. You saw all the nurses in England during this fucking plague. They're out TikTok dancing in the street.
Hmm.
The education system just takes a big fucking downward spiral. You're no longer being taught history, geography, even though it's all fake.
Hmm.
Uh, Science, maths, language. It's all now you're taught how to. There is a school teacher in prison for a long time right now in Ireland because he refuses to call a boy a girl.
Hmm.
So when the contracts ended, they had no longer had any obligation towards the humanity.
Hmm.
I don't consider myself a human.
Hmm.
I'm not one of them. Right? I'm fucking definitely where we are all extraterrestrial. None
Hmm.
of us are terrestrial. So Europe, the French don't know shit. They don't know anything about what's going on anywhere. But look, just like Ukraine is a construct, constructed back in the 1850s or whatever, after the so-called Crimean War.
Yes, sir.
Belgium is a construct. Germany is a construct. Poland, all these little countries that have a lot of wealth in them. Holland, Luxembourg, Belgium, France is a construct. Spain is a. 200 years ago, they weren't even called. Spain was Iberia. France was Gal. Spain was on the west coast of the U.S.
Hmm.
France was all the way from Louisiana to the Canada border.
Yeah.
Rome is where you are right now, was the east coast.
Hmm.
Rome is a geopolitical location. It's not a geographical location.
Yes, sir.
Belgium didn't exist. Luxembourg didn't exist. Holland didn't exist. Germany didn't exist. Poland, that was all Prussia.
Yeah.
Italy wasn't Italy, it was Byzantia.
Byzantine. Yeah.
Bohemia is now Czechoslovakia,
Czechia.
Hungary.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So they can change the names of all these places, introduce a new language.
Hmm.
Uh, where did the languages come from?
Hmm.
They had to have computing skills to create all these languages. Nobody in France spoke French 150 years ago.
Hmm.
Nobody in Italy spoke Italian. Nobody in Germany spoke German. None of these languages existed. They're constructs. How they did it, I don't fucking know.
Hmm.
But they did it. This is the Tower of Babel.
Yes,
This is where
sir.
I can place the whole construction of the Old Testament into the 1800s,
No.
right? The flood, the Tower of Babel, the killing of the giants,
Hmm.
right? And everything that's biblical that they pushed back 4 or 5 thousand years, 9,000 years into biblical history. They have an obligation to tell us the truth. So they're
Yeah.
telling us what the truth, but they're also lying about when it happened.
Hmm.
So we're a reset population, a construct, taught false history, false geography, maths that are useless to they learn a whole different way of doing maths in India and China, even to this day.
Yeah.
All the sciences that we call sciences are all bogus.
Hmm.
The germ theory, that's why they call it a theory,
Hmm.
because it's an out for them.
No.
uh so uh oh shit, I was sick, I went to you into the hospital and you made me even worse. You can't sue them because you're fucking going in there. They told you it was a theory. Yeah. Theories of fucking gravity, theories of evolution, theories of relativity, things that they teach you in school, trying to tell you it's real, but underneath it, they're telling you it's a theory.
Hmm.
So we've all been miseducated. When it started, the whole story in the US yourself, where the Rockefellers creating all the school books and giving them away for free, and
Yes,
people
sir.
who wrote real books about real things weren't getting them into the schools because the schools wouldn't buy them because the Rockefellers handing them out a load of stuff for free.
Yeah.
So they reset the people, fed them a load of bullshit, and here they are doing this fucking same thing again.
Hmm.
taking all the things that we had taken for granted, the educations we were getting,
Hmm.
and now you want to go to university, you're going to get a fucking degree in what, gender studies,
Yeah, man.
right? And people don't know where fucking Africa is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Man, I had some crazy ass experiences with kids, man. Like even recently, I seen this girl in New York, and she's from Brooklyn, and she was swearing to me that Brooklyn is not New York, man, and Canada was in Europe, man. Like it was real, man. But yeah, yeah, it was crazy. But she was literally arguing with me. But I was gonna ask you, like, did you have a chance to interact with like the youth in Ireland? Are you also seeing that the youth is like getting hit hard, man?
Getting hit hard. They're gone.
Hmm.
They're gone. My own nieces are so fucking far gone, and their mother is gone as well. You know, uh, yeah, gone.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't know what other way to describe it. They've gone along with this whole new world order. It gives them a place to stand. You know, it's a bandwagon that they're jumping on
Hmm.
because they're empty.
Yeah, no identity, man. No nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, something comes along that gives them a voice and they can agree with, and gives them something to argue with. I'll tell you what, straight people, straight white people, and white men in particular, are the fucking enemy of these perverts.
Yeah.
And that's why these perverts are now prime ministers in Ireland, prime ministers in England, prime ministers in France, and Holland and Belgium and all these other countries. And there's a few European countries that have got a strong man prime minister who stands up and says, "No, fuck you, I ain't doing this." Like Orban
Mm.
and
Urban.
uh,
Yeah.
the other guy, I forget what country he's in. Is he in Slovakia?
Oh, so you like Urban, right?
Well, I like what he stands for if it's real, what he's really standing for.
Hmm.
Uh, and I like people that turn around and say no to the system. But like the other countries that I just mentioned that have got all these fucking perverts in power, they are just waging war on straight-minded people. And like as I say, people are making tweets and getting 3-year prison sentences.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what you think about Tommy Robinson, man.
Not much. Don't think much about him at all.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
I do know who you're talking about. Uh,
Is
I
is he
don't
is
like.
he is he a puppet, or like what's going on with him, man?
Well, he's getting notoriety. They don't give notoriety to people who aren't fucking puppets.
Hmm.
But it's like they've set their own controlled opposition out there. He
Yeah.
says all these things, and then he supports the the fucking crazy massacring going on over there in that other country in the Middle East.
Hmm. Oh, really? I wasn't aware of that, man.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit. So hold up,
But like,
didn't they like lock him up? Like what is that, man?
yeah. So they say they
Mm.
locked him up. Yeah. Uh, we don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
he really like gained a substantial following. People are really going out into the streets and shit, man.
Yeah, and that's what they want. They need to have people going out there burning things and smashing things up in order to justify their stance of bringing in new laws and making life more difficult for everybody.
I'm glad you told me that, man, because a lot of times, like even someone like me, man, they really know how to manipulate people, man, because they put like these likable fucking people in front of us.
Yeah, I'm really middle of the road, and I I'm aware of these characters. I keep an eye on everything, but they would never, none of them would ever get any of my support. You'll never see me at a protest. You'll
Yeah.
never see me carrying a banner or a placard or a flag
Amen to
or any
that.
of these things. You know, I'm just standing. I'm an observer, a seasoned observer, and I get entertainment out of it. You
Hmm.
know, and that's one of the. I get entertainment out of Trump, uh, and I get entertainment out of watching the fools fall for all this shit.
Man, you just I'm saying, like, you keep just dropping jewels, because once again, I think you even didn't notice yourself, but you say I'm in the middle. And I think this is so freaking crucial, because I've been trying to tell this to people, even like my close people, that the way, they build this sick game is they always create these opposing sides, because they want you, to choose a side. There's a South Korea for North Korea, Pakistan for India, Ukraine for
Yeah.
Russia, like a conservative for liberal. They're always creating what seems like two opposing sides, and then, because naturally we're gonna pick one of those sides, and now even these groups are getting like more and more and more. Like first it was like, Christian and Muslim, and now it's Christian, Muslim, gay, Protestant. Like it's like, yeah, man, it's like black, like fucking lesbian, like this shit is crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
So I
It's
so I
fucking
think
crazy.
I think you nailed it when you said, once again, that you're in the middle. I think this is so crucial. I always tell my wife, because she's one of those people that is better not, like, watching some impressionable video, because she actually, even she knows so much, but she starts to like feel a sort of way. And I think this is exactly how they're pulling our strings. So unless you're able to take it the way Jim takes it, as a form of entertainment, or let me, learn a little here, a little there, don't get involved. Fucking turn off the social media. Turn off. If you can't handle it, step away, man. Fucking live in your own world. Like, you will be fine.
Prove to me that you are alive.
But I'm really like curious about Ireland again, because, well, you did mention that it gets over sensationalized, obviously, as always. But all those things that the chief was saying, do you think that Ireland is on that path truly, or or like, are they planning like all these things that the chief was saying? Like, what do you think, like, after visiting?
Well, I think the experiment that they were carrying out is over. It's done with.
Huh?
They're good. They're done with Christianity as a tool of control of the
Huh?
people,
Holy shit.
and because it doesn't work anymore.
Huh?
People are no longer Christian, Catholic. They go to church. They don't go to mass. They they created atheists.
Hmm.
This is what Christianity, Roman Christianity, does anyway. It's designed by design to turn you atheist.
Wow.
Right now, they want to keep control, so they'll change the religion to Islam
Wow.
overnight, as long as they're still in control.
Huh?
You know, the world hasn't changed in hundreds of years. It probably hasn't. If we were to believe their fake history, in thousands of years.
Huh.
Look, look at the big, look at the 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 main characters from Christian history. Yeah. Uh, you have the Christ. Yes. You have at that time the stories that come out that horrify us. You have King Herod.
Hmm.
You know, we all know what he's famous for, fucking killing all the babies. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have Caesar.
Hmm.
None of these characters ever existed.
No. It's a
They are
script,
titles.
man. It's a fucking script.
They're titles. And down through the set times, these titles are held by. Look at the current King Herod. What's he doing
Hmm.
over there? BB. BB is the current King Herod. What's
Wow.
he doing?
Wow.
Fucking killing babies. He's not doing anything other different than what King Herod did.
Crazy.
Caesar is living in Rome with a fucking walking around with a big lampshade on his head saying he's boss over everybody. What is he doing? Oh, he's not doing anything. He keeps saying, don't do anything. Oh, be nice. Don't fight. Have peace. Have this, have that, have the other. And then the Christ is the good people that's in you, that's in me, me. That's in many of the good people.
Christ consciousness, man.
It's consciousness.
Hmm.
So we can assume that title of goodness that comes from the Christ story. There's always going to be a King Herod. There's always going to be a Caesar. They're just telling us who they are and what they do. And if you sit back and say, "Oh, this is all correct and true," and they're going to continue doing it.
Have
This
you
is their
have you
way.
though have you though visually in Ireland seen that it's changing demographically? Like is it noticeable, or again like this is just being blown out of proportion?
Very noticeable. Very
Hmm.
noticeable. When I was growing up, uh, anybody that was out of place received just got got abused, got
Hmm.
criticized, got put down, and now those that were out of place are in positions of power,
Wow.
and they have created a society which doesn't want to go along anymore with tradition, and then they have brought in a new way which fucks tradition in the bin and lets every perversion go out there. I mean, when I was growing up, uh, there were very, very, very few non heterosexual people. If there
Yeah,
were there,
they weren't
they were
public though.
quiet. They were quiet. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But there are many, many, many. Where did they come from? How did they create them? I've got theories on that, on in the food, in the plastics, in all of that stuff. They created them, and then when they get into a position of power, then they have all this support, and then they make it law. They've, when I lived in London, uh, I knew many gay people in London,
Hmm.
and they lived their lives. They went out together. They went to the restaurants together. They went to parties. Nobody ever bothered them.
Hmm.
There wasn't right. You had this low lives in society that would attack them, called queer bashing, where
Oh.
they would attack, and gay bashing and stuff. You had that. It
Hmm.
was still very, very rare. But now that they've pushed it into everybody's faces, there is a backlash,
Hmm.
which was never there 30, 40 years ago. It was just something that people sniggered at way back then, and now they've created them, and they've created a section of society which is really uh, staunchly against them. So they have now two sides of the fence at each other. And as you know, there are kids at school who identify as a fucking cat, and they have to have a litter. And if you go against it, you're fucking demonized. Whereas 30, 40 years ago, if that happened, you would call guys in white coats to come around and fucking pick you up.
Straight
You know?
jacket, man.
Yeah. So they've turned the tables, and they're very expert at doing shit like that.
Yeah, man.
So
Go ahead.
no, I don't know what to say.
No, I was just gonna say that I don't know sometimes how oblivious we can be that obviously there are these whole, you know, centers where, they study 24/7, uh the neurological reactions of our brain to cultural impacts, to they have whole sensors of controls. Like I don't know why sometimes people are so oblivious. Like I understand when I was talking about this stuff in like 99 year 2000, people were calling me crazy, but now it's like, come on, man. We have all this information and it's right in our face, and obviously we're going nowhere fast, but people are still being so oblivious. What I was gonna ask you is, like, besides, like, let's say you and Chief, so far that I know, do you know if there are any like gatekeepers in Ireland? Is there any structure left that would at least, you know again, gatekeep the culture or oppose maybe against this sort of a movement? Like, is there something like this, or is it all hope lost?
No, there is something like that there, but they are powerless.
Hmm.
Yeah. They just had a general election,
Mm-hmm.
and they voted in all the same assholes that have been there for the past 8 years, and
Hmm.
they're just going to continue doing what they're doing. And there's a lot of controversy over the election and a lot of accusations about vote rigging and all this type of stuff. But I mean, if you saw the Irish politician, the current prime minister, he reminds me of a fucking worm. That really and truly is. This is what he is. This is what he is. He's a fucking worm.
Slithery motherfucker, huh?
Yeah, a horrible. But look, they're all actors, and as you know, good-looking ones go to Hollywood, and ugly ones go into politics. And they have, and it's obnoxiously put in your face, basically, where they have these people in positions of power and ministerial posts, and they are the ugliest women you could ever fucking find anywhere.
Wow.
It's the same in media. In media right now, I mean, they're putting people in positions in the media to read the news, and they are the most obnoxious looking, ugly fucking women you ever seen in your life. Whereas it used to be that you would choose a really nice looking woman to fucking read the news so that people would fucking watch the fucking news,
Hmm. That's crazy,
But
man.
like,
It's like
it
these
is
little things we
crazy.
don't think about, but wow.
Yeah, I notice these things.
Hmm.
I keep my mouth shut about them mostly.
Hmm. Listen, what's going on with your boy Archangel? I don't know if you can talk about it or not, man. But what's up with your boy, man?
Yeah, they arrested him not long back. I saw it on video. Uh, they fucking really manhandled him and took him off. Uh, two cops, one of them with fucking makeup and lipstick on him.
What the fuck?
And They had him in court the other day. We didn't think he was going to get off because they've accused him of assaulting them. Yeah, they're after him. They're after him big time. He spoke to me since the court case. I thought they were going to lock him up, but they haven't. He's still out and about.
Yeah, because
Uh,
he's active, man, right?
he's overactive.
Hmm.
Over. I told them, if there's no way you're going to bash the front door down of these people.
Huh.
You're going to have to. I do it my way. Let's go around behind and come in from behind. I can go after them where they will never know where it's coming from.
Yeah, go through the back door, man, or through the roof
Yeah,
or some shit.
yeah. That's metaphorically because I'm not into confronting them.
Absolutely.
I'm into usurping them
Yeah.
with information packages and information programs
Yes, sir.
rather than pick up a stick and go after them. That doesn't work. It never does. That's what they want you to do so they can bash you down. And he
Exactly.
went. He went and did that, and they've bashed him down.
Hmm.
you know, but he is a warrior. There is no doubt. I understand him 100%.
Hmm.
That's his makeup. You know.
Yeah, some people are born like that, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So the documents that the chief was presenting last time we had that sit down, man. So you're basically saying that it looks like they're really implementing those things, right?
If nobody stops them, yeah, they're going ahead with them. It's like the railroad coming through town. If you don't sidestep it, it's going to drive over you.
Huh. That's
And it's history repeating itself. They're using the only technique they have, and I think they come they start this shit when people start waking up. Like
hmm.
we said earlier on, it takes 200 years, you say less, from people to go from horse and buggy to hadron collider.
Hmm.
They run a civilization for 100 years or 200 years, for as long as people are still asleep and in the dark. The
Hmm.
moment people start to wake up and challenge them, and there's a risk that they can be usurped, then it's reset time.
Hmm.
They don't give a fuck if they wipe out the entire population of the earth.
Hmm.
To them, it's a sacrifice to one of their fake pagan fucking gods,
Yeah.
you know. But they'll do it to stay in power, to stay on top. And if Vlad is starting this BRICS thing and saying "fuck you, fuck your dollar, fuck your world domination," uh, we're uh, in order for that to come in, there could be a serious devastation before it gets here.
Yeah,
So
because
when people start to wake up, they need a reset, and we're waking up, man. We've woke up.
because the just to pick up on what you're saying, see that's another big thing that really, we're going back to the word hope, gives me some sort of hope, is that um as you say, Vladimir Vladimirovich, as we say, and Russia, because I'm in constant communication, is that they are, it's like it looks like they're on a whole different trajectory than what we are in the West. They even something as open propaganda of homosexuality is illegal over there. But not only that, that's like a small thing, or maybe that's a big thing. But just by communicating with people, it looks like they're like they're vibing on a whole different type of level than what I'm seeing in the West. Like if the West to me, and the West mainly, I mean America and Europe, looks like it's kind of rotting, um for a better lack of a better term, where over there it seems like people are very inquisitive, they're very well studied, like especially the young people, Jim. When I talk to young people over there, it's mind-blowing. They remind me of the young people that I remember, like 20 plus 30 years ago. They're very inquisitive, and they're okay with talking about higher learning and spirituality, and like there's a whole different vibe. And that's why and again, their living conditions are actually improving at a very fast pace. So that's why it kind of gives me hope. Maybe there's a possibility that it is actually not a fake confronting power, but an actual confronting power. And I don't know if you know about Baba Vanha from whatever, from Bulgaria. The funny thing is, she had all these prophecies or whatever, and then her last prophecy before she died, she prophesied that there will be a leader that will come in Russia and kind of challenge the establishment. And the funny thing is that ever since the war in Ukraine started, I tried to find that prophecy, which was written in her biography in the Wikipedia just 5 years ago openly. Now you can't find it, you know?
Yeah. Well, look at the Red Army has never been defeated,
Hmm.
right? And no matter what they fire at them or throw at them or launch at them, this is a fucking ground war,
Hmm.
and it's going one way and one way only. And no matter what kind of missiles they give them to fire, it ain't a fart in the wind to what the result of this whole thing is going to be.
Huh.
And I don't think homosexuality is illegal in Russia. It's just that to promote it, it's
Yes, the
illegal
propaganda. The propaganda is illegal. Yeah.
because there's gay bars and gay clubs throughout Moscow and other cities
Yeah.
in Russia. They don't,
Yeah.
and they're not interfered with. Go and do
Yeah.
your
You just
thing.
you just can't be walking around with like rainbow t-shirt
Yeah,
and having
yeah.
parades and shit like that. So yeah.
But look, it's the perverts in power that hate the straight white male.
Hmm.
But they have instilled that hatred into ordinary gay people,
Yeah.
right? So that they now develop a hatred of the straight white male also. And there was no reason for that
Hmm.
because nobody interferes with these people. They can live your life over there. Just don't come over here and
Hmm.
try and push it into my face.
Yeah.
But they've succeeded in, equating uh, Antifa and Black Lives Matter and Extinction Rebellion and LGBTQ. They have succeeded in tying all these groups together and pointing the finger over at us, saying that's your enemy.
Hmm.
So they've built up an army to go out and burn fucking the place down if they don't get their own way. And Russia doesn't want that because that will bring their downfall if that is allowed. So this is why they say, no, hold it, stop right there. It's not happening. And
Yeah,
then, of
man.
course, they demonize Russia and the Russians for their stance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
because we we constantly hear, oh, the Jews are being hated, or oh, black people are being hated, or oh, gay people being hated, whatever. I have never seen a more open hatred than the Russophobia that we've been seeing, and it's like, and it's like open, it's not even like a hush hush type of thing. It's like a open, like, I hate them, let's kill them, like they're like, you know what I mean, like it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, well, it's not. You've got so many straight people also have taken this side, the side of them.
Hmm.
I mean, 40, 50 years ago, and not that I agree with it, but 40 or 50 years ago, if a dad found out that his son was a homosexual, he would have kicked him out of the house.
Yeah.
Right now, they're proud that their son is like this,
Hmm.
and they will go against anything in the world that doesn't like their son or is against what their son stands for, or their daughter, or their cousin, or their uncle, or their brother, or whatever. But there was a time when there was a zero tolerance,
Hmm.
but now they've got many of the straight people in the world supporting this.
I think the big problem is how they're teaching the society to look at it. And what I mean by that is, I think that's why people like Buck Angel that we had on the podcast is important, because here you have, like, this woman that, whatever, transitioned, I don't know how the hell that works, grew out a beard, but is now, which I think is so crucially important. He, she, I'm still confused about that. Is saying, because he, she, what I, again, I'm sorry about that, but he said on the podcast that, look, this is a mental disease, whereas they're teaching us that this is something part of the genetics, or this is normal in nature, or this is normal. You see what I mean? And I think
Mhm.
that's the problem, is there, if they were saying that, look, this is a mental dysphoria, like Buck Angel is pushing, and I think it's important that information is coming from somebody like him or her or whatever, it's this, famous, a trans person that's saying, look, this is a mental condition. I don't know how I got it, but it's mental. This is not, something to be praised, or this is not something that we can just dismiss as, oh, you're just born like that and it's normal. And I think that's the key thing, is how they're teaching us to approach this, because, again, if going back to what you just said, if a parent 50 years ago, their son comes up to them, they're gay, if they approach it as a mental condition, that it's a whole different thing than, oh, you're just, something's wrong with you, you're born like that, and I think that's a super, it's the same thing as like meat eating. When you come to the restaurant, if we were to say, I want a piece of cow, instead of saying, can I get a steak, or can I, you know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
it's those tricks of the mind, verbally and vibrationally, that we get implemented. And I think that's a big freaking problem.
Yeah, well, they have messed with people through chemicals, and that's what a lot of money is spent on in medical research, finding every fucking poison that they can think of. It's not
Hmm.
fucking spent on looking for cures for diseases, you
Hmm.
know? But like, I can recognize gender dysphoria,
Hmm.
but androgyny is a different thing. It's a fucking religion.
Ooh.
And it's a religion of various groups of people who mistranslate and misunderstand, not deliberately, biblical quotes.
Hmm.
Consciousness is neither male nor female.
Yeah.
So, biblically, it does state in there that there is no difference between man and woman, right?
Hmm. No.
Because consciousness is neither male nor female, but they take it and turn it into a fucking religion.
Hmm.
Now, in America, I have seen it on many in actors, actresses, musicians. I've seen it in the media and people that read the news. And you can see they look like good looking women, but they can't hide this fucking Adam's apple sticking out of the middle of their throat. Fucking Granny Smith. Yeah. This is androgyny. This is this religion, and they will pervert the world. And this is what they're doing. Gender dysphoria is a result of their criminality, their hatred for creation.
Yeah.
Right? But gender dysphoria and androgyny are not the same.
Very
and the
important.
androgens are deadly dangerous. From fucking Big Mike to the fucking president's wife over here. to
Do you believe that? Do you believe that story?
It doesn't depend upon belief. I know that these creatures exist. You know, I mean, all the book burnings that were done in Germany in the 1930s were bookstores that promoted shit like this.
Wow.
Right? From the House of Zion, and Berlin was worse than any fucking city in the world right now.
Wow.
With this androgyny and cross-dressing and debauchery, and there were more male and female prostitutes in Berlin and in other cities in Germany in the 1930s than anywhere else.
Wow.
And bookshops promoting it everywhere.
I never knew that, man.
No, they went around and they burned every fucking bookshop down, took all the books out into the street and set them on fire.
Holy shit.
But then we get a different story in history about, oh, this mustachioed guy, that's horrible what he done. He goes around burning all the books.
Prove to me that you are alive.